What's up, guys? This is Stacker Factor. It is Saturday, September 20th, 2025. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about what kind of silver I'm buying right now, what kind I am not buying right now, and what's going to happen in the future with silver prices. Now, spot silver is sitting at $43.01 as of Friday afternoon. So going into the weekend, it's awesome to be above 43. Doesn't even sound real to say that, but yeah, guys, we are above 43 and headed north. So I'm going to start with what I'm buying right now, and when I can find them cheap enough, all day long, American Silver Eagles, they are a staple of my stack. I got more of these than anything else. I usually buy them on the secondhand market for about $1 to $2 over spot a piece. You won't find that at your LCS. A few years ago, Walmart was offering these for a pretty affordable price. I think Bullion Exchanges or Bullion.com was the seller. You can still find these on there, but you're not going to get that 5% cash back like they were doing back in the day. However, buy these in bulk if you're going to buy them. Buy 100 at a time. If you can afford to do so, it will save you money over the long run. And yeah, American Silver Eagles, guys, they are my number one thing that I'm buying right now. The number two thing that I am buying right now are 1 ounce silver maples. These are kind of flying under the radar. Now, this is an older one, but I was still able to find it for about spot a few weeks ago. So it's already gone up in value. And these are made by what's probably still the best mint in the world, although the Perth Mint is kind of giving the Royal Canadian Mint a run for their money. This is still the second thing that I'm buying right now, and other than maples, these are what I have most of in my stack. So Eagles and maples right off the bat, you can't go wrong with either. If you want to save a little money, go for the maples. If you can, get the Eagles. I'm also stacking odd weight Royal Canadian Mint, specifically their wildlife stuff. This is 1.5 ounces. It is one of my favorite sizes to actually hold in my hand, but a lot of people don't want this stuff because it's fractional. They want, 1 ounce or 2 ounces or 5 ounces or whatever. So these fly under the radar and people just give these away. They're absolutely beautiful. They're made by a quality mint. They have the little security features there. And yeah, they're just beautiful. And people just, for whatever reason, sell these dirt cheap. And I just scoop them up all day long. So any of the Royal Canadian Mint wildlife stuff. And they also make these in 1.25. So yeah, go out and get them. This is the 1.5 version. Next up of what I'm buying. Now, I'm always looking out for these, but they have to be really cheap. And that is Morgans and Peace Dollars. Now, these are the only 90% silver pieces that I buy. I'll get into a little bit more of that later. But I love Morgans. They are super old. They're little pieces of history. You get a good chunk of silver in here. There's like over 3/4 of an ounce of silver in a Morgan. And yeah, I just love these. You're always going to find a strong secondary market if you ever need to sell. And people will sell these for below melt quite often, even in conditions like this. They're not all slicks out there. So definitely get out and look for Morgans if you can. And they are more common than you'd think. So these, I think, are just going to keep increasing in value, not just for the silver content, but because they are so old. They're, more than just antiques. These are pieces of Americana, and I think they always will be. So there is my Morgan and my Peace Dollar. Moving on to the last thing that I'm looking to buy right now, and that is 10-ounce bars that are either Engelhard or made by a vintage mint or something really nice like the Royal Canadian 10-ounce bars. I'm not really trying to be buying Buffalo bars and those really cheap Sunshine Mint bars. There's nothing wrong with those. They're beautiful silver pieces, but they don't have any collectability to them like this Engelhard does. They don't really have the cool designs like this Engelhard does. And this was super cheap. I forgot what I paid for it, but I remember I think I paid spot, including the shipping, to get it sent to me. So deals are out there on this kind of stuff. I'm not a big vintage guy, but I've been buying a lot of Engelhard 1-ounce rounds recently. I don't know why people were giving those away during the last dip, but I snatched a bunch up. However, you can usually find these 10-ounce bars much cheaper per ounce than the 1-ounce rounds. And yeah, I love these. I got 3 or 4 of these. These are my favorite way to stack the generic 10-ounce if you're going to stack generic 10-ounce. I have a lot of 10-ounce coins, Queen's Beast coins, that kind of stuff. But these right here are a great way to add some quality, collectible, vintage silver to your stack for a little bit over spot. So that is the stuff that I'm looking to buy right now. And now I'm going to share with you guys some stuff that I am not looking to buy and don't normally buy ever. So first up, and this is not going to be a popular choice, is 90%, 40%, basically any junk silver that's not a Morgan or a Peace dollar, I'm not buying. I'm not buying quarters. I'm not buying Kennedys. I'm not buying war nickels or nickels. I am simply buying Morgans and Peace dollars at 90%. Now, a lot of stackers are going to have a huge problem with this, and I have my reasons for not liking 90%. First of all, I don't like that it's 90%. I want pure silver when I buy silver. That's just my preference. Unless it's one of these, because these Morgans and these pieces, like I said, they have history to them. These are old. These are beautiful. These are art. This is just a coin to me. Second, this coin is not too worn, but junk silver can get worn, and then you're getting less silver for your buck. Third, it does not have a super high resale value. And in the private markets, I can tell you guys that junk silver sits. It does not sell as quickly as the pure stuff does. And to tell you the truth, I'd rather just have a bunch of generic Buffaloes than a bunch of 90% that is not Morgans or Peace dollars. So really don't like the 90% stuff. I personally do not stack any of it, other than Morgans and Peace. I know I have to keep saying that because they're 90%, but I don't consider those 90% like the other stuff. So that's what I'm not buying, is 90%. And something else I'm not buying is stuff like this, high premium stuff. This is a really cool piece. I think it's covered in rhodium or something like that, glow in the dark eyes. I got it a long time ago for a steal, but right now I'm not buying anything fancy. There's just no point because premiums are gone. So you can go out and buy maple leafs all day long for spot, close to spot, even under spot sometimes. And there's no premiums on them. So why waste money on something fancy like this that costs 2 or 3 times more when I can just have more silver? So yeah, don't waste your money on high premium stuff right now. Stick to this stuff here. And, I will always give a mention and always be a simp for stacking Buffaloes. There's nothing wrong with stacking Buffaloes. Especially if you can get them under spot. I got a bunch of Scottsdale stuff coming, generic Scottsdale silver for under spot a few days ago, and it's already spots moved already $2 north since that. So I'm already in the green buying generics there because generics will just sell right away. There's always going to be someone going to buy your generics. Yeah, you're not going to be able to charge as much as say you would, an Eagle. But at the end of the day, silver is silver. Everybody loves Buffaloes too. Every stacker will, take a free Buffalo if you give it to them. And that's the way I would go, guys. So Eagles, if you can get them for $1 or $2 over spot. Maples, if you can get them at spot. Canadian wildlife fractional stuff, if you can get it under spot. Morgans and Peace dollars if you can get them for melt or under. And stay away from 90% and stay away from fancy high premium stuff. Pretty simple. I hope you guys all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I didn't get any silver in the mail today, so no unboxing, and obviously no mail on Sunday. Go Niners. So I'll probably be back with you guys on Monday. So have a great weekend, and as always, keep on stacking. This is Stacker Factor signing off.